Now, the stage is set for the ANC's 111th anniversary celebrations in Bloemfontein, and Party President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to deliver the annual January 8th statement. It's used to, of course, outline the party's program of action and set the tone for the year ahead. Now, this happens as the country is still battling with power cuts and an ailing economy, of course, high unemployment. Our reporter, Moloko Moloto, is in Bloemfontein. He joins us now live. Moloko, of course, we saw earlier that the stadium is still a bit empty, but it seems like there are a few people there behind you. Is it slowly but surely filling up?
Are you there? Well, the stage is certainly set for the African National Congress as it celebrates 111 years of existence, having been founded in this city in 1912. Of course, the numbers are beginning to pick up. More people continue to arrive in the stadium. It looks like any moment from now, this stadium will be full to the rafters. But I want us to speak to Mr. David Mahlobo. He is the National Executive Member of the ANC. Mr. Mahlobo, thank you so much. This is the statement of the National Executive Committee. From your perspective as the NEC, what should the people of South Africa, not only members of the ANC, expect?
Thank you very much. This is a very historical occasion. We want to say happy birthday to the ANC. It's an organization of our people, but it does not only belong to South Africans. The ANC belongs to the people of the continent and the world. When it was formed, the people of the region here in SADC, they were also involved. Now the ANC, when President Tambo delivered the first statement, the condition in South Africa, black people and Africans in particular were the pariah in their own land of birth. Now the ANC is in power. Over 28 years the ANC has done well, but there are many challenges. And the ANC statement that must be provided by President must deal with a number of challenges. The country is not in good shape when it comes to issues of service delivery, the issues of corruption, the issues of the economy, that must work. But at the very same time, South Africa is part of the global community. We want to hear how the ANC is going to play its part. But more importantly, the statement must also help us. What are the marching orders that each ANC member must perform, but also the role of communities in rebuilding our country?
It is not for the first time as the ANC where you acknowledge corruption, where you acknowledge service delivery failures. How are you going to do things differently going forward?
We are the only organization in the country that acknowledges mistakes openly so. But at the very same time, we believe in self-criticism. Then we self-correct. We know one of our weaknesses in the past was the issue of dealing with non-performance. In the last local government elections, you'll remember, we started to say those that must be deployed must be competent. Now we've reached a stage where there must be consequences for non-performance. That's why you could hear the President, you'll hear the Secretary General of the ANC. We need to do things differently now and act decisively on our promises.
Why were you not acting on your promises? Why were you continuing to deploy people who were not competent?
Well, we must not generalize, Moloko, because there are areas of good performance, very good pockets of performance. But we must also look at that there are issues of capacity. That's why our school on OR Tambo, the School of Governance in Government, and the issues around management of discipline and performance are some of those weaknesses that we've addressed. Admittedly now, we wanted to move away from those missteps and be able to be seen that we are actually walking the talk rather than talking the talk.
Let's conclude here. How are you going to renew yourself? This is what you've been talking about since the 2017 conference. You clearly did not succeed there. How going forward are you going to show that you renew yourself as the party?
The renewal of the organization is not an easy thing. But you could see that one of the decisions we made, we have a renewal commission. We have a vision 2032 now. It's part of renewing the party. The role of the elders they are playing in the ANC. And you could see the president inherited a very divided organization. He has been able to keep this organization together, and he has been given a renewed mandate. Renew the ANC is not an option, and we are renewing our country.
Yeah. The president, according to Mr. Mahlobo, inherited a divided organization. He says they are working on rectifying that. But let me bring into the conversation Mr. Ruben Matache. He is the provincial secretary of the ANC in Limpopo. Msanda, thank you so much for your time. You were concluding the 55th National Conference that you did not conclude at Nazareth. What were the issues that you as Limpopo were insisting on that the conference must adopt?
Thank you very much, Moloto, and your viewers. Our issues, one, we are very happy on the plan that we are putting forward to deal with the issue of unemployment. We are very happy as Limpopo that we are going to make assessment of our employees, both in provincial and local spheres of government. We are also happy about the clarification about the issue of the ESCOM, the issue of load shedding. As Limpopo, we are very happy, and we think the conference has been able to conclude to our maximum expectation.
What would it take for the ANC to unite and renew itself, considering that it's coming from a recent history where divisions were so clear?
Moloto, it's a must to do. The conference was very clear. It has given the leadership mandate to renew and unite the organization. Those who will not be able to stand for the issue of the unity and renewal, they will then have to step aside. The conference is very clear on that, and it has given that role to the president, it has given that role to the NEC and former president to champion the issue of the renewal, and also they must be assisted by the Veterans League.
Let's talk about accountability. The issue of Phala. We understand that it was not discussed by the new NEC. Is it your understanding that it is now water under the bridge, or will the NEC at some point have to discuss it?
I think there are processes that are underway. Let us not jump the gun. Let's wait for the outcomes of those processes. The ANC will make a decision, will decide. It is not the call of the province. It's an issue which is seated with the national. Let's allow national and its deployees to process the matter.
Let us conclude. There's an expectation that the president must reshuffle his cabinet. How would you like to see the newly reconfigured cabinet to look like?
No, Moloto, I will leave that to the Secretary General and the President for them to make a decision and determination. We don't want, as the province, to be seen like we are trying to push the President to a particular direction. And our expectation is that we will want the cabinet that is going to support the President, that is going to make sure that there are services to our communities. We are a rural province. We have been saying we are a rural province. Our expectations with regard to the services is very high. And that is the long and short of it.
I'm sorry, I said that was the final question, but I want to push in this one. You did say earlier that those who don't want to be part of renewal must step aside. On the issue of people, senior leaders who did not toe the party line and voted in support of that motion in Parliament recently, the likes of Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, Supra Mahuma Pelo, and Musebenzi Zwane, how should the ANC deal with them?
The SGO is seized with the matter. They have already made a statement. The previous NEC made a statement about the matter. Let's allow the Secretary General to process the matter. He is going to give us direction on what needs to happen.
Ruben Matache, thank you so much. He is the Secretary of the ANC in Limpopo. Of course, I'm sure you can see that the festivities are underway already. The weather looks perfectly agreeable. It is certainly not cold. It is also not hot. And we expect that the program would start at about 11 o'clock or so. I'm not too sure if that would be the case, because I surely do not expect that the president will start addressing this event for as long as there are still empty seats in this particular stadium.
Thank you so much. Of course, that was our eNCA reporter, Moloko Moloto.